Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope your week is going well. And today, this is lesson number 5. And I wanted to continue the theme in regard to old wounds. And I wanted to talk about some ideas for deep soul excavating. You know, we talked about those places in the basement of our souls, and how easy it is to just keep stuffing those old wounds because they're too painful to deal with. And what that does is that carries hurt that keeps showing up in our lives. It keeps showing up in our emotions. It keeps showing up in our thinking, and it doesn't allow us to live our best life. And you are here to live your best life. I'm starting to read A Course in Miracles, and I'm going to be implementing that into some other classes at the library, and also some more Facebook Live classes when we're done with this series. And so I spent the time yesterday starting that. And it's such a cool book because there are universal principles, and that's always my goal, to have these principles be something that you can take into your own spiritual path. And I want you to think about the concept, and I'm always hyphenating words, disease to dis-ease, because it's a lack of ease in our mind and in our emotions that's manifesting in our bodies. And so I want to tell you something that was brought up in this book about the term atonement. The term atonement, and this can bring up ideas and thoughts about the price being paid. It can bring up an idea about a horrific death, a death that was really violent. It can bring up thoughts and feelings about how can I ever be good enough or do good enough for that act. So anyway, in this book, they hyphenate that word to at-one-ment, and I want you to do your own research. At-one-ment. So the term atonement actually means that you accept and believe that there is no separation. There is no separation from Source. So many of our beliefs are beliefs because we accepted them as beliefs. And when you accept something as a belief, that's what shows up in your life. And so because it shows up in your life, you have verification and validation of its truth. Now, just entertain the idea of a belief becoming truth, and think of maybe truth just being unshakable, unchangeable. Those are the truths that we want to tap into. So at one-ment, realizing there's no separation, being able to release and surrender pain, being able to release thoughts that no longer serve us, being able to embrace that connection that never changes. You don't have to be deserving of it. You don't have to earn it. It simply is. That separation is an old belief. That separation doesn't exist, and we are one with Source. We are one with God. That connection cannot be changed. That connection doesn't have to be earned, and we're the ones that create the separation. Just think about that for a minute. And like I said, if anything that I cover in these classes just doesn't resonate with you, there's two things that you can do with that. You can either maybe look at, okay, why is that stirring up things for me, and maybe just kind of entertain the idea of it, or You know, we are all on our own path, and you certainly get to choose what works for you. And I want to be supportive of everyone with that. Okay, so back to deep soul excavation. Because it's so important to us living our best life, I wanted to cover today some ideas of how to do that, because it's really important to be able to process those things that come up. And I want to give you guys some ideas that I've used in my career. I've used them on myself. You know, as healers, we are always healing right along, you know, with our audience, right along with our clients. And it's just, we're all on the same journey. So these are some things that I feel have been really beneficial for people that I've worked with. And so the first one that I really like is to write letters to the people that have hurt you. And these aren't letters that you necessarily send. You can if you need to. You could do a letter that you intend to send, and then you could do a letter that you just go everywhere you need to go and say everything you need to say and express every feeling and every hurt and just everywhere you need to go, and it's something that you keep. Now with these letters, what that does is that allows you to purge that pain, that allows you to purge that anger. That allows you to detail out and define the things that you're holding on to, the things that are affecting your health, affecting your emotional health, affecting your thinking, affecting your mindset. And so when you write these letters, make sure that you copy them. You always want to save a copy. And the reason why is because there are certain things that we can do that are symbolic of letting go. And so this may be a letter that you read out loud. This may be a letter that you read to a partner or a safe person. And one thing that is really helpful to do with that letter, and like I said, you're saving a copy if you so desire, is to burn it. There's something very cleansing about that process. You know, letting it go into the ethers, you know, releasing it to God or releasing it to Source. And witches do a lot of that with spell work and things that they just want to send out. And it's just very symbolic. Fire, the element of fire is also very purifying and cleansing. Think about, you know, when a natural fire takes place in the forest. It's burning away the old, and then new growth sprouts up. So I have an altar, and I have all of the earth, air, fire, water elements represented on my altar. And I have a special cauldron that I use for my spell work, and it's really beneficial for things that I want to burn. Now a cauldron, you know, the symbol of a cup is water. So it's about emotion. It's about feelings. It's about thoughts and that type of, and the watery element, you know, and it can be all types of emotions, you know. So I think about your heart, and I just wanted to show you my cauldron that I use for burning. And you know, you can order these, you can get these in local stores. And if you don't want a cauldron, you could use like a Dutch oven. You know, you could go to a thrift store and just get a special cast iron, you know, bigger pot that you use specifically for your healing. And I live in an apartment, and so, you know, I just use my balcony. You know, it's not something that gets really super crazy, you know, as far as the burning of it. So anyway, that's one thing that I feel like is really helpful, you know, to be able to write everything down and be able to burn it, and just simply focus in your mind of releasing that pain and letting it go. Okay, now my second My second thing that I really like to do is, well, I'm going to save that one. Let's go to inner child work. Okay, inner child work. This one is really cool, and it was really hard for me to do at first because we're not really taught from a small age to take care of ourselves. You know, we're always looking outside for somebody else to validate us, for somebody else to take care of us. So think of your little girl or your little boy, you know, and make a list of some things that that little girl or that little boy didn't get, needs that didn't get met. Because when we are children, you know, there are some really important messages and some really important needs that kind of set the foundation for our adult lives. So when you're doing your inner child work, and this is just an idea, picture that little girl or that little boy in your hands and get yourself in a really comfortable place, in a very safe place. You know, maybe you're going to wrap a soft blanket around yourself. Maybe you're going to light a candle. Maybe you're going to play some soft music. Maybe you're going to get away to the canyon. You know, I live in Utah. Or you're going to sit in a park with the sun on you. Or if you live by the ocean, you know, Lady T, one of my sisters in Wakaya, who I adore, you know, she does a lot of her self-development at the beach. So anyway, find a place that helps you ground, and talk to that little girl, talk to that little boy. Give that inner child your love, and do this regularly. And you can start with your wounds. You can start with, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, and I'm going to take care of you now. I have you. And just say everything you need to say to your inner child, and go where you need to go. Cry if you need to cry, and just realize that you get to take care of that little girl. You get to take care of that little boy. And every time you're done having that conversation with your inner child and nurturing your inner child, you can hold them, and then you can put them back inside your heart and carry them with you. Love inner child work. Just absolutely love it. You know, and it's really cool because even as adults, we can let our little child out to play. We can visualize holding hands with our inner child. We can rock our inner child. We can cuddle with our inner child. We can soothe our inner child. And on a playful note, you know, it's really fun to witness in yourself and maybe in your partner your inner child coming out to play and celebrate that. My partner and I do a lot of things where we're like, okay, let's let our inner child out, and we just become these big kids, you know, for a little while, and it's really healthy. So that's something you want to start incorporating into your healing. Okay, and then the other thing was, as you're going through this process, you know, get to a place where you start flipping those hurtful, negative, angry, scary thoughts and messages to loving messages, So make sure that you're identifying that feeling and flipping it to a safe, loving message. You know, try flipping it to its opposite. So let me give you an example. So let's see. So everybody leaves me. You know, make sure that you're identifying that and flipping that to, I'm safe, people support me, and most importantly, I support me. I support myself. Good morning, Lila. You know, so taking every wound and the feeling and the thought that goes along with it and flipping that to affirming to yourself that you're there for you, and that the opposite is true. Because if it's not loving, it's not your truth. And then on a last note, another thing that you can do is write love letters to yourself. Write love letters to yourself. And you can do this in your journal. You can get some really nice paper and find a pen that feels really good to you. But the process of writing paper to pen is very magical. It's very powerful. And it is not the same as typing. And my life coach, Reverend Love, talks about this, how the process of pen to paper is, the energy flow is so much stronger. So write those love letters to yourself. Let yourself know what a great job you did in this situation. Let yourself know that you see the beauty in yourself. If you're working on specific goals, let yourself know what a great job you're doing. I'm in the middle of this Bula Fit program, and I have to praise myself for every push-up, every cardio workout, every great ketogenic meal I prepare. Why? Because I want to feed myself that love. We're shifting from looking so much outside of ourselves to becoming whole. Because if you can start giving to yourself what you're reaching for everybody else to give you, good morning, Tina, it's going to change your life. You're going to become a whole person that is involved with other whole people, and we're all here to do our life, and nobody else outside of me validates me, completes me. That is so freeing. And yes, it can be very foreign. It can be very foreign at first. But I'll tell you, your relationships will change. They will change. So I hope I've given you some really good ideas on how to start that deep soul excavating. And make sure that if you're like me and you schedule everything, I'm on vacation this week, and my boyfriend was laughing at me last night because I've got lists of what I need to get done every day, and I even have to schedule, I'm going to go to the coffee shop and read, or anything, excuse me, anything that I'm going to do that's nurturing for me or feels like a staycation. So yeah, schedule that in. Schedule in your self-care time. Schedule in your self-development time, and schedule in doing some of these things to work on releasing and healing from those old wounds. And make sure that you message me. It doesn't have to be in the comments of any ideas or any support that you need in this process. I want to make sure I'm there for people. I also wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be doing some live workshops at the library. And I have put on my Facebook page the first one and where it's at, what time it's at. These are free workshops. This is my way of serving my community, of serving you. And I'm so excited to do them. And I really hope you'll come. So the first one is Saturday, May 13th, and it's at the Sandy Library. So just, again, message me if you need more information, but I have created an event for it so everybody will know. And yeah, just, get your joy on today. Live your best life. Let's live our best life together. There's so much love and joy and playfulness and fun in life. Once we start our healing, you're gonna just be able to look outside and see life in Technicolor again. You're gonna be able to just be so grateful for what's in place that it just makes you cry. There are things in place because of our wounds that it's like they pinch us off from the joy of life. We want to get the flow back. We want to get the flow back. And, that's how we change the world, by changing ourselves. Just think if everybody was doing that, what a different world it would be. Just think if we all felt loved, if we all realized our worth. Just think if everybody was, able to heal. Just think what a difference, what a profound difference that would make in our lives. And it makes a difference in every life we touch. It makes a difference for our children's lives. It makes a difference for our friends, for our coworkers, for our partners. It's just the best way. And let's have fun while we're doing this. Let's be excited about it. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great day.